It was plus 32 in Germany this Saturday, so I decided to go somewhere colder and wetter. My cat was fine at home, so I left him there, sleeping in the shadows. Living in southern France with a car is really cool, especially if you have a parking place for it. Just an hour or two of driving, and you could be in Austria, Switzerland, or France. A couple more hours could get you to Czechia, Belgium, or even Italy. As everyone knows, most autobahns in Germany have no speed limit. People drive as fast as they want. That is part of the reason why you can get to many places if you live in Germany. Safety is not an issue as the autobahns are wide, flat, and curve nicely in the corners. But most people drive between 150 and 180 kilometers per hour due to other traffic and also due to fuel consumption that easily doubles soon after that point. Well, I got lucky with the traffic here. You can see that the opposite side direction is much more congested than mine. As I don't have an Austrian vignette, I had to go by second-grade roads along the coast of the amazing Bodensee Lake, and there was some nasty traffic jams for half an hour either way. Next time I'm getting a vignette for sure. Swiss roads, well, they're almost as nice as German ones, except for speed limits, bad, and mountains, pretty good. I did get a Swiss vignette because it's just one for the whole year, so that's good. An alternative to going by car is going by rail. Both German and Swiss rail systems are very well developed, and there are stops anywhere you might want to go, except for high mountain passes, but there are special trains and elevators that go where cars can't. So here I am driving to a local swimming place on Lake Vallen. It's a nice mountain lake, roughly 2 by 15 kilometers, with 2+ kilometer mountain ranges on both sides. At some points, there are vertical cliffs going down right into the lake. The lake is fed by meltwater from mountains as high as 3.4 kilometers, so meltwater is still flowing into it even in August. It was really cold. The top layers were warmed up to some 18 degrees, but deeper water was even colder. The local beach was a combination of grass and pebble, artificial beach and pier for boats that shuttle people along the lake every couple of hours. After a bit of swimming and sunbathing, well, it was time to move on. Only after this I noticed that my camera was still in manual mode since a couple of weeks ago when I was experimenting with photographing stars. Really big fail. Some way further in the mountain valleys, cows started showing up more. The clang from many cows eating grass is really loud, but the views are amazing. This is all filmed on a wide angle 10 to 18 millimeter lens, so basically I had to raise my head 45 degrees to look at the things at the top of the frame and look down to see what you see on the bottom of the frame. Mountains still impress me a lot coming from a flat country like Latvia. Just these mountains here, like many times higher than Latvia's highest mountain. After a quick lunch of sausage salad, there's a lot of chopped sausage in the middle there, it was time to start seriously climbing towards the highest point of today, Clausen Pass on Route 17. I love these twisty climbing roads with amazing views to the sides and not too much traffic. You can get nice acceleration both in speed, up and down and sideways, while still being perfectly safe on the road. The tightness and the drop-offs on the sides do add somewhat to the excitement. Every now and then along the road there's a place to stop and take a breath or take a look around. And it becomes even more important as you are approaching the top and there are more and more amazing sights like this. There was a majestic cliff with the snow-capped mountains on top of it and a waterfall of meltwater cascading down with a nice place below for a picnic or just break. Just beware of the buses as you're driving there. Yes, there is an actual bus route going through this pass. The view from the top of the Clausen Pass is amazing. But if you are not satisfied with that, you can do what I did. Climb a few hundred meters more higher on the mountains, on the sides of either side of the pass. Then you can see something like this. The view goes on for a long way in a clear day, and you can see the tiny cars on the far roads, and you can see the distant peaks. You can also look down on the parking place on the top of the pass and look across to the other side of the mountain. The climb is rather easy, because you're not the first going there. There are regulars who go here a lot, cows. Every accessible grassy hillside, even if it's angled at 60 degrees, is a cow pasture. And you can see that by how cows have created a bumpy landscape by stepping into the ruts for stability. Even rocks are worn away in the same way in some places. So you can just walk the same way, and after a bit of a walk, you cross over to the other side. The view is breathtaking, and not just because it's more than 2 kilometers up. Up here you can be and you can feel alone. You can see and feel the majesty of the forces of nature that created this amazing landscape. Or just smile and wave. The other approach to the Clausen Pass is also very nice. There's this grey hotel building at the top of the mountain, and you drive towards it, climbing all the way along a road that is cut directly into the side of the mountain, at a great elevation above the floor below. So you can see the brown line of the road on the right, just underneath the green shelf in the middle of the shot. Don't get too distracted here or the buses will get you. As the sun was coming down, I arrived at my second lake today, Lake Lucerne. It's a huge lake with many branches and many cities along its coast. And I took a dip at one of the beaches at Brunnen. Technically it was a paid beach, but it was so late that they stopped taking money and were basically cleaning, closing up, and serving last drinks to people at the bar when I arrived. The water was warm and very clear. Swimming in a lake surrounded by huge mountains when the sunset is blooming, it was an amazing sight. It was totally worth the trip. After that, all that was left was getting back home, across half the Switzerland, through a bit of Austria, and a couple 100 kilometers of outer bounds. All in all, it was an amazing day of a lot of driving, a bunch of swimming, some mountain walking. That cost me like 35 euros in fuel and 20 euros in food. Well worth it.